another great thing about this case study is I love the mock-ups that they used. So there's going to be a mock-up down here as well,
Mhm.
um, where they actually put the America 250 in the U.S. quarter. Um, and this looks really cool.
Mhm.
So this is another thing I think Bratin is pretty underrated is the kind of mock-ups that you're going to show. No matter what budget project that
Right.
you're going to work on, you'll be able to find good, Photoshop based mock-ups that you can plug in the logo and you can show to your clients. So it's always a good effort to go that extra length and put your logo into something that feels like this could be imagined in real life. Let me take you back to Shermayev, Geismar, and Haviv with
Right.
this hidden gem that actually I don't think it has entered the world yet on the scale that it will be, because this is
Mhm.
America 250, and I think this is celebrating right in 2026, which is 2 years away. Is
Mhm.
celebrating the Declaration of Independence in the United States when what we call America was really born. Um, and so
Mhm.
America 250 is sort of that campaign and the related artifacts that are going to be created for that. That is going to be, I would say, maybe a year-long celebration. Um, America 250. What I really love, first of all, is the logo that they have created. The sort of ribbon-esque 250.
Mhm.
I love how the two turns into and it stops right there and then it captures again from the bottom side. Now you see it and it ends up like creating that
Mhm.
number. I really love this. I think, yes, again, one of Shemaev, Geismar, and Haviv, their agency is really good at is logos, simple logos that
Mhm.
capture a lot of feeling and emotion and character, and they're able to do that, I think, better than anybody else. I regard them highly because of it. Um, and so that's what we are seeing here. I love how they expand the logo to then turn it into illustrations and iconography, right? And sort of this what I would call like a putting on top of each other these objects. What would you call this? This sort of effect, sort of layering.
Like reckon overlap, yeah, overlap
Yeah,
shapes.
overlapping shapes, and it sort of plays on the idea of that ribbon. Um, and so you're
Mhm.
seeing all of that done through. And
Yes.
another great thing about this case study is I love the mock-ups that they used. So there's going to be a mock-up down here as well,
Mhm.
um, where they actually put the America 250 in the U.S. quarter. Um, and this looks really cool.
Mhm.
So this is another thing I think Bratin is pretty underrated is the kind of mock-ups that you're going to show. No matter what budget project that
Right.
you're going to work on, you'll be able to find good, Photoshop based mock-ups that you can plug in the logo and you can show to your clients. So it's always a good effort to go that extra length and put your logo into something that feels like this could be imagined in real life. Like, I don't know if they're going to create
Mhm.
actual quarters, but this
Mhm.
looks incredible as a
Right.
mock-up, as a showcase of what the logo could be.
And this will be big, like a big event, like a big celebration. And so if you'll go by the logo, I was thinking like the America 250, just if I remove the word America and put 5 circles, does it look like an Olympic logo or does it work for an Olympic logo? Maybe. Kind of
Maybe.
works. And that's the beauty that they've been able to capture, that okay, it's a huge event and you know it. And
Correct.
the implementation, I love it. They could have broken the word 250 into 3 letters, but they didn't. They just kept it one ribbon. That works.
Correct.
And the biggest advantage that they have with this project starting right off the bat is the the super iconic color palette, the red, blue, and white. It's a favorite palette for both Tommy Hilfiger and all other brand designers.
That's right.
So it's super lovely that the work they have been able to produce. Also the mock-ups, it looks organic. They knew that they were not approaching, like some, how do you explain it? They've used like a thick serif font and even lighter sans serif on the apps and on the
Yeah.
other Instagram things.
Yeah.
I think they're working on, they've worked on evergreen things
Correct.
and not just big typography and all that. They knew that this
Correct.
is This is a once in a lifetime moment, and so the celebration for this has to be appropriate, and finding
Correct.
appropriateness is super difficult. I
Correct.
think they balanced it really, really well. Yeah, this one's looks
Correct.
super awesome.
Correct. I think it's super respectful, like you were talking
Mhm.
about. Um, there's so many great mock-ups here. When you see it in the
Considering the
pin,
number of mess ups we have seen with like Paris
of
Olympics and
course.
so many other
Oh,
logos,
of
yeah, this
course.
is a breath of fresh air for us.
Of course. I just did another a post, a written post on the Olympics of 2028, which is going to happen in
Mhm.
LA, in Los Angeles
Mhm.
specifically. So that is one project that I feel has been done really well. And it might just be
Right,
a
right. I saw the
bias.
post.
It might just be a bias of mine when I look at American graphic design. I prefer that because I've lived with that forever. But there's just a different level of quality. That's something we can talk about maybe as that Olympics gets closer. But like you said, uh, logos like this that have to capture a huge cultural moment, like the Olympics or like celebrating the 250th birthday of the United States, like these are big cultural. These have a lot of cultural weight to them, and if you do it wrong, then people are going to give you a lot of backlash. So what I like about their agency is I think they took this on with a lot of bravery and courage, and they
Mhm.
trusted themselves, they trusted their instincts. I don't think you could walk into this and say this is a safe logo
Right.
by any means. Like this is something that, okay, the way this was drawn is entirely unique. And it's
Mhm.
not like they're using stars and stripes together. It's just stripes. It's the ribbon aspect. If I were to be like, just any agency out there and you asked me and I could give you a cookie cutter project and template, it would probably be just like stars and stripes, a play on the US flag, and boom, you're done. But they've tried something really different without being too scared of what the public would say. I think that's also something that comes to and as an advantage to agencies that are larger because they have more grit, they have more experience. They're less scared about what they're going to put out into the world and what
Mhm.
backlash they might get. So I think
Right.
as even younger designers, I think we can try to think outside the box and try new things a lot
Mhm.
more without worrying that maybe the audience won't love it or the client won't love it. I think it's our job to then sell that, of course, but we have to try things that are outside of the box and bring some new ideas. What's your opinion on
Mhm.
that?
Right. That's absolutely right. I was looking at the kerning on the word America. Of course, it's done well.
Yes, of course.
The target addressable market for this is the entirety of the population, from the oldest
Yeah.
of olds to the youngest of youngs.
Yes.
And it only makes sense when you know where you can experiment and you know how you should experiment. That's what they've
Correct.
done. They knew that
Correct.
typography is is not something that works for everyone,
Yeah.
because we've grown up with different design sensibilities. That's why the Tupperware
Yeah.
rebranding was so important for them. So was
Yeah.
the Decathlon. And so with this, they knew that the logo is a place where we can introduce some sort of experimentation or newness or delight. And they did that. And it worked
Yeah.
super.
I like that you bring
Especially,
that up. I like that you bring that
yeah.
up, and I want to show this on the screen as you talk about it. Is like
Mhm.
kids that are really young, they're making a beautiful cake out of this logo, and then there's a kid down there that drew the
Right.
250 with a Crayola, and there's also another person that drew it with graffiti paint, right?
Mhm.
As you can
That's why
see.
it's so awesome. It's a single letter. It's almost
Yeah,
like a single letter. It's You can say it symbolizes harmony and unity as
correct, correct.
well. Mhm.
It's bringing it
Again,
together.
the mock-ups that big agencies use are always specific, and I
Yes,
love that.
yes, absolutely. And they're art directed as well, not
Mhm.
just the identity project. But I think another thing that comes out when we work on identity projects that have to be done pretty quickly, we love to spend a lot of time on the logo and then the whole design
Mhm.
process and everything. When it comes to delivery, we don't spend enough time on
Mhm.
mockups. We don't spend enough
Right.
time on really making the logo and the whole identity itself visualize well enough, especially maybe adding motion graphics to it in some way, which these big agencies always do that. And they always go the extra lengths to not just say that, okay, we put all this time and effort into creating the thing, but we also put a lot of time and effort into presenting it to you in a way that you would be able to digest it. You would be
Mm.
able to imagine it, how it looks in the real world. And
With
so
this mock-up
that's,
as well, if we'll go up a bit,
yeah,
yeah, with this one, they've used the ribbon as if it's a huge flag. It's a
correct.
huge long-running flag to
Right.
symbolize the motion from 1776 to 2026. That's super cool.
Exactly.
They knew
Exactly.
what they were going for, of course. Yeah,
Exactly.
this is done superbly well.
Exactly. I love this project. And I can't wait to see it pop up more locally as
Right.
2026 gets closer. So
Mhm.
I'll be sending you more I'll send you photos if I see anything
Sure.
like this pop up, and I'll let you know where I've seen it and how it looked. How it's
Right.
executed as well in the real
Mhm.
public space is going to be an important deal too. Um,
Right. Because
so
that won't be done by them. So that's a different
that's
story.
right.
Let's see if it
That's
works
right.
out. Yeah.